I was about 10 years old when my parents told me that they were going to be getting a divorce. And at the time, I was really confused. I wasn't really sure what that meant for our family going forward, and kind of like wondering what was the reason why they got divorced. So to start off with, they ended up cohabitating for a while they got everything figured out. The eventual plan was for my mother to move in with her parents, and then once that happened, I did split custody, where my mom would have me from Sunday evening to Thursday night, and my father would have me from Friday morning to Sunday afternoon, give or take. So it was weekdays with mom, weekends with dad for the most part. And we did that for, I couldn't give you an exact timeline, but let's say maybe like a year, 2.5, whenever we all still lived in the same state. And we made that work. He ended up eventually selling the house that we had all originally lived in and then moving in with his sister, up until the point where he decided to move to Texas, where he'd be able to go to a specific college that he'd been wanting to go to for a long time to learn about graphic design so he could work in that field. So being a kid with divorced parents can already be complicated. Having them decide to move to different states makes it even worse. See, at the time of him moving, I was probably just starting or getting right into the middle of 6th grade. So I was about probably 12 years old. Now, this is already a really awkward time in your life. You are wondering who you are, where you fit in with the world, and you're trying to do everything you can to make friends and maintain some kind of like social semblance of normalcy. And the problem is, being able to set up times to hang out with people or go to events is really difficult when every other weekend you're flying to a completely different state to spend a weekend with somebody. Now, it was really hard, to say the least. I was flying by myself every other weekend. I would leave on a Friday evening. I would arrive that same evening because there was only a few hours flight, and then I would end up flying back Sunday evening. And if I had homework that weekend, it was uncommon for me to actually get it done. There wasn't any studying that was happening for sure. A lot of my time spent there felt pretty wasted for the most part. I wasn't happy going there. At first, it actually wasn't terrible. See, whenever I was first going out there, it was just me and my father, and it was actually probably the closest we had ever been. We spent a lot of one-on-one time. We had a lot of bonding time. It was actually really great, until my future stepmom ended up moving in, but that's probably a story for a different video, honestly, because that's not the point of the title, which is how does them living in different states impact you? So as a middle schooler, it impacted me a lot because I couldn't maintain a regular social group of friends. So what I ended up doing was turning to like having online friends, or maybe talking to people I know in real life, but on like Xbox Live and playing video games that way. I didn't really have a chance as much to make in-person friends. I did have some people from my youth group because I was still religious at the time, but I'd missed quite a few of the really fun events because I'd be out in Texas instead. And this persisted up until freshman year of high school, so there was a good 3-year period where I was flying out every other weekend to go see my father. And it wasn't fun. And sure, like as a kid, you know, it's selfish to want everything to be fun and to expect everything to center around you. But whenever I actively knew that I didn't want to go there, and that I didn't want to continue to like break up how my social circles went, it kind of sucked. I didn't have any friends in Texas. The only people that I knew were my father, and then once she ended up moving in, my future stepmom and my future stepsister. So I'm sitting there kind of stuck with no way out. I don't have a say in where I'm going. Whenever I get there, I don't have a say in what's happening. So I just feel like I have zero control over what's going on in my life, which leads me to be resentful towards everybody involved. In a perfect world, the kid should be able to decide what parent that they want to stay with. And sure, there are problems that come with that, but if the kid can demonstrate some level of competency or explain the reasoning why they want to be with one parent over another, and a judge can rule in that favor, then that'd be awesome. But it is what it is. So the TLDR of this very short bit of what it could be a very long arc of stories is, yeah, having parents live in separate states sucks, even as an adult, but as a kid who has to be a part of some kind of joint custody, it's not a great experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and do not forget to keep it casual.